In this simulation, we are going to look at the game of Tambola, which is also called Housie. And there is a very similar game which is played in some of the Western countries, which is Bingo. The game is very similar. So in Tambola, we have numbers from 1 to 90. So that's the very first line in my code. I've created a list from 1 to 90 and I've called it number. And then I've created an empty list, which is NL. So basically what is going to happen, if I've called a number from my number list, I need to delete that number and put it in the new number list NL. So those are the two things I'm going to do, because I don't want to call out the number again if it has been called out once. So from the number list, which is NUM, I'm going to move the numbers to the second list, which is called NL, after they have been called out. Now for this to happen, I'm going to use the TI system import. I'm going to use the random import, and I'm going to use the while loop. Now, once again, I have used the get key, and within brackets, I have 1. When I put the 1 over there, that means I can go to a specific key. So the keys that I'm using in this case, if k is equal to 1, then it's going to go to the number list and make a choice from there, and that number is called M. Then I'm going to print that number, and I'm going to move that number to the empty list, which was NL. So originally it was empty, but now the first number, which whatever that number M was, has gone into that list. And after this, it's not going to be empty, because that will keep getting populated. And after all the numbers have been called out, probably we won't get to that stage. All the numbers from 1 to 90 would then move to the empty list, which was NL. And you can see the second line over here. I'm removing the number from the list NUM. So remove M, whatever the number was. Now, if K is equal to 2, that's if you press that number K is equal to 2, it will actually tell you the numbers that have been called out so far. If K is equal to 3, or if you press K equals escape, then it will exit the game. Now, so K equal to 2 is like pausing the game and seeing what are the numbers that have been called out. And each time I have to press 1 or 2. And then the last is else. Here it says print the next number and enter 1. So that's really my code. And I will actually print the whole code for you. So that was just explaining the game. Now what I will do is I'll run this for you, and you will see exactly what is happening. So we're going to start Control R, and I'm going to press 1. So that's K equals 1, and the number that has called out is 49. Now 49 will actually come out from the NUM list and go to the NL list. And now if I press 1 again, that's the second number that's been called out. And then I press 1 again, that's the third number. So these are the numbers that are being called out. So people can see these numbers as they are being called out. Now if I press 2, which I've just done, it's got a list of all the numbers that have been called out. And you will also notice it arranges the numbers in ascending order. So it's easier for people to see the numbers that have been called out if they haven't crossed these numbers on their ticket. So every time a number is called out, people are crossing it on their ticket. And it says over here, 8 numbers have been called out. Now I want to continue with the game. So I press 1. The new number is 80. And then next is 33. Press 1. So I'm pressing 1 and all the numbers are being called out. And you'll see none of these numbers are actually repeating because they're moving from one list to the other list. Now I want to see what are the numbers called out so far. So it's got all the numbers that have been called out so far, and it says 25 numbers have been called out. Back to 1. And now let's say the game is over. Somebody has crossed off all the numbers, although it won't happen so quickly. Now if I press 3 or I press escape, it says the game has ended. So that's how this game works. So that really is the code for this. And if I keep going down, it's got 19 lines of code. So I'm on line 15 now, 16 and 19, and that's it. That's the end. So that's the entire code. So I'll just go back if you want to copy the code. So we start with number the list, then the empty list, import the two modules, and then the loop is a while loop, and k is the get key. And if I put 1, that means I can go to a specific key. So the keys that I've designated k equals 1 is for a number to be called. K equals 2 is pausing and getting all the numbers have been called out so far, and k equals 3 or the escape key will end the game. So that really is this game of Tambola. Thank you for watching this video.